Greetings, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another wedding session of Reconstructing Minds Incorporated. My name is Shantario, aka Brother Midnight. I got a very interesting subject. We're going to be dealing with um, the realm of political awareness and also understanding the realms of politics and how they work and who they work against. Tonight, we're going to talk about political development, political development, and I hope that we can learn all something together. Now, I'm going to begin reading from the September 21st, 1982 letter in reference to when the new concept was still pretty much new to the organization and was actually the first year within the new concept. According to the date, it's September 21st, 1982. And it reads as this from a memo called What's Happening Inside and Out. It says, fellow brothers of the struggle, once again, we come to extend our love, life, and loyalty to all brothers of the struggle meaning movement. We hope that some of the information that we are going to render here will benefit you as an individual and as a member of this organization, because time is essential, and as we stated in our organizational preface, we have wasted enough time dwelling on insignificant matters. It is time to prepare ourselves for the world, and that is what this issue is all about. Some more enlightening factors about our objectives, goals, and accomplishments reaching toward the world. So, in other words, this letter begins by letting the brothers know that, you know, we some of the brothers who are on the inside are getting ready to transfer out into the outside world, and some things needed to be done. So, in order for those things to be done to reach the goals and objectives at that time, a mindset of growth and development through the methods of educational, economical, political, and social development had to be made manifest as brothers were getting ready to transfer into back into society. It says we would first like to congratulate all the fellow brothers of the struggles who have made our struggle mini movement a success. Up to this point, we are celebrating 1 year, so this is the 1 year celebration for the new concept of organization. It says since taking on our new concept of organization, although there has been many difficulties through our struggle meaning movement, many things have been accomplished. We also understand that after difficulty there will come ease, only saying we are still reaching during this second year. We aim to establish ourselves more firmly as an organization to be reckoned with. Reckon means a force that has to be considered with by everything doing it, everyone doing their share and contributing more to our cause. In other words, objective, which is toward the world. Now, here's where the interesting part of this memo kicks in. It says, on the streets, our brothers have been diligently involved themselves in voters registration drives. They realize that politics is the science of who gets what, where, when, and most importantly, how. As we previously manifested to you through business and politics, we can build an economical base that will ensure our boundless power and wealth. This is what this is what direction we are moving in. So, in other words, this was also a transition period. Not only was a transition period, but it was also a period to where they were getting ready to prepare the brothers' minds for the realms of politics, and also being established as a reckoning power of people, uh, a force that has to be considered. And this letter was basically letting the peoples know that, look, new direction is about to go on, and we need to be ready for to vote so we can stabilize ourselves as an organization. It says many of you complain about this brother benefiting and that brother benefiting. Also, you complain about not receiving any benefits for yourself as a member of the organization. Our brother, once again, we will spell out our new concept, which is organization. That is defined as a unified and consolidated group of people with an executive structure that deals with the well-being of all its people. It's an executive structure of business and enterprise for individual growth and collective acceleration of the body as a whole. So, in other words, what it means is once we have really established ourselves collectively as an organization, our boundary of progression will be without measure. So, in other words, we will be limitless in our efforts as an organization to reach our goals and objectives. It says, first, there must be dedication and sacrifice. We must give ourselves totally to the organization and begin to plug into what's really happening by molding ourselves around our organizational structure. So, in other words, we have to mold ourselves around the new concept meaning an idea. And it says, and that's the most important part of this letter. And, I just wanted to touch bases on that because we're going to be transitioning now to the blueprint on page 102, where it says the main objectives to our political development do is that we do not understand how politics have played a major role in our lives, especially when it comes to things such as the American social contract and the unwritten laws of containment that is stated, and also how the vision uh, it can be utilized in properly assessing, the written laws and politics and different things of that nature, and being considered an X class of people, especially in the poor ghettos all around the world, especially in Chicago in this time. Growing up in the projects, these were very poor and rural areas, and somebody had to step up and fight. So, this particular time was a time of preparation under the system and the method of the 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, and the 3 D's: dedication, determination, and discipline. Okay, it says, as we know, all we know is that we feel victimized by the political reality that confronts us. However, the new concept deals with politics from this vantage point. It says that we must begin to understand. So when we think about understanding or being able to understand, we have to be able to see with our minds. We have to be able to be thinkers. Uh, in other words, when you think about uh, the 3 minds, it says great minds discuss ideas, mediocre minds discuss things, and small minds discuss people. It says that we must begin to understand and uh, participate in the election process. We must research and understand the track record of candidates, and we must begin to prepare our own candidates. Excuse me. So here it is, the manifestation of at this time that was real big was the 21st Century Vote, which helped the black people in the poor ghettos of Chicago have a voice through voters registration. And that's what the 21st Century Vote was all about, being a voice for the people, which predominantly caught a lot of national attention all around the United States, that an organization was able to mobilize and come together and establish something like the 21st Century Vote, so that blacks in the poor ghettos of Chicago and abroad could have a chance at being a voice and picking who they wanted to be a candidate. And if there was a candidate that they knew how to properly prepare that individual, and that individual have a backing. It says one of the main reasons why we have been victimized by the system is because we have no voice within the system. As outlined in our literature, the legislator is in control of the law making policies that we must live under. However, the legislators are voted into office. Excuse me. It says the legislators are voted into the office by the many communities in which we live. We must begin to understand that as long as we project a negative image to the community will in turn continue to support negative legislation, such as Class 6 laws. Thus, our new concept is saying if we want to change the laws and make it and have a voice in our destiny, first we must change our first you must change your lifestyle. For us, the first political struggle meaning movement, is that we have to we have to deal with this, that of becoming an asset to our communities, especially our youth, when we effectively talk about to send who to send to Washington to voice our concerns. And that's where you had back in the day people like Wallace Gator Bradley, who stood for the people and is still fighting today. The 21st Century Vote, he had a major role in that, in establishing what was going on at that time. And it was just a great movement, a great move. So this was when they talked about the Class 6 laws, it was for those who were poor and disenfranchised, whether you were black, Hispanic, whatever it was. But this particular movement helped us to better understand the Class 6 laws was based on a gimmick to really pursue mass incarceration. And when dealing with legislation, we want you to know that this is the branch that is responsible for creating the laws. The legislative branch consists of Congress, which is split up by the Senate and the House of Representatives. So, that's what we want to understand about this dynamic. Another piece of literature, and I'm going to get ready to close this thing out, that we need to understand as well. When it comes to the political development, we must understand that there has to be service and cooperation, which in essence is dealing with the principle of loyalty. Loyalty is service and cooperation with an organized scheme of things. It says, through service and cooperations, our bodies and minds will begin to grow and develop more perfectly. As we begin to realize that loyalty is the absolute service and cooperation, we will become more and more prosperous in our purpose. Then we will become better husbands, better wives, better neighbors, better friends, and better members of our glorious organization. So we have to understand that when it comes to the dynamic of the organization, we represent a broad spectrum when it comes to the organization. It says be what you have claimed as your belief. In other words, loyalty is living your creed. Your creed is your belief. So that perfectly makes sense. It says begin now to work on and hard to work hard, long through service and cooperation. Service and cooperation gives birth to inner peace and a true understanding of loyalty are the principle. Through loyalty, our new concept teaches us a man who lives without loyalty lives without the basic integrity and dignity of humanity. No loyalty implies no purpose, and so the life is so designed that it will not support a man who has no purpose. Although we can pity him, even this we can do for so long if the signs of him serving a purpose does not does not surface soon. In other words, there has to be a greater level of service and cooperation. And that's the most important dynamic of what I just read, you know. And, that I'm just so very grateful for that because we live in a very stagnant society. And, people are each and every day dealing with complacency and apathy, which is two of our greatest enemies. Complacency is basically lacking initiative, and apathy is our greatest enemy. Being that apathy means that we are suppressing that initiative, we are holding back. But to give you a more definite understanding of what I'm talking about, we can take a look at the June 18th, the July 18th, 1982 letter, June 18th, 1982 letter, excuse me, June 18th, 1982 letter. It says, beginning in the third paragraph, it is our duty to inform you that we, the leadership, have declared war. Our enemies are twofold: complacency and apathy. Before we can conquer our enemies, we must first identify them. Complacency is the absence of initiative. In other words, the lack of initiative. And then we're going to deal with apathy. It says our second and greatest enemy is apathy. Apathy is the suppression. Or in other words, suppression means to hold down. So we're dealing with two great enemies right now. But we have to develop a mindset of growth and development in order to truly understand the scope of politics and how they play a major role even in our society today with the suppression of voter rights. 19 states have agreed to change their rights in order for a certain party to be able to win. So we're going to see the dynamic of how this plays a role if nothing is done to change the dynamic of what these 19 states is really trying to put off with Donald Trump running in 2024 for the presidency. The United States and even the world itself can be in a major uproar and confusion and chaos if nothing is done about this. I want to continue to read. It says, a man who lives his life without loyalty, this is the basic integrity. It says, no loyalty implies no purpose, and the life is so designed that it will not support a man that who has no purpose. Although we can pity him, even this we cannot do for long if the signs of him serving a purpose does not surface soon. An example of the above can be best seen in our youth. They are becoming unstable and unpredictable that they are literally throwing their lives away because they have no prime examples of where their loyalties should lie. However, the new concept of organization has assumed responsibility of helping to correct the situation. How? Through our struggle meaning movement of educational, economical, political, and social development, social growth and development. However, our struggle, we must understand that this is not, that it is not that our communities do not give a damn, but most, but like most people, they do not want to stand and be counted for something that they fear is less than truth itself. For this reason, our new concept involves our service and cooperation in a new purpose. That is to say, each member should have and undertake a positive approach towards their community and pursue whatever they pursue in their normal lives. This positive approach should be first seen in the form of withdrawal from those lifestyles that are against our principles, while at the same time we must protect our sense of loyalty to those things that are positive for the community. So these are the things that are conducive to helping us really understand the realm of political development and how politics play a pivotal role in our society. And this is going to be a great teaching, and I hope we can continue to stick on this for a while, because midterm elections is coming up, and we want everybody to do the right thing and not just vote any kind of way, but have a level of understanding, be a thinker when it comes to voter rights, voter suppression, and the things that pertain to our overall goals and objectives as an organization and also as individuals. And with that being said, this has been another awareness session of Reconstructing Minds Incorporated. My name is Shantario, aka Brother Midnight. Peace and love to you all.